Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And on tonight's episode of the Brewtiful Game, we got back-to-back derbies to talk about. As the London derby we discussed the weekend is Arsenal and Chelsea. As Arsenal win 2-1 with a few talking points to resurface when it comes to Chelsea's red card problems to set-piece goals. Then a slew of midweek matches taking place these past days. We'll just bounce around Matchweek 28-29 to discuss some of the various matches in our 2-minute drill. Then, as the halftime whistle blows, the what the F Neto and the Hattie Ham loaf of the Pedro, Ron shares with us all the news that's fit to drink and yet another edition of Ron's Beer News. Then once again, we're going to check in with our Scottish correspondent, Blake McManus, as he keeps up to date on how the race for the Scottish Premiership is going down before Ferris quick fires results and headlines from the Klassiker, Champions League draw, and many happenings in the U.S. soccer from the MLS, U.S. Women's National Team, and the World Cup this summer, and a jam-packed La Liga's roundup. But first, our beer. And I'm excited for my beer. If you don't mind, I'll jump in and go right now.
Go right ahead there, sir.
I'm dipping back into a Pennsylvania brewery, Trogs, who have a multitude of awesome beers. The last I had was their Grand Cru Mad Elf, well known for their famous Christmas ale. But I felt like something sweet. So tonight I'm doing the Grand Cacao Chocolate Stout with a taste of milk chocolate, roasted grain, hints of sweet cream. It's deliciously decadent sour, built on a foundation of rich chocolate malt, caramel malt, roasted barley, cold steeping on Peruvian cacao nibs, and natural vanilla doubles down on the smooth symphony of chocolate and a splash of milk sugar, delivers a velvety sweet and creamy finish. 6.5% ABV, colors dark chocolate. Hops are Galena, Pilsner, grain, Munich grain, caramel, chocolates, special B, roasted barley, oats, and some house ale yeast. I'm super stoked for this here beer.
That sounds really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
This sounds good.
I like that it's not, sometimes a lot of these are very high alcohol content. This sounds a little more sessionable.
Nice. Well, curious to see what you think of it here in just a second. My beer has a slight story to it. I don't think we've had this one on the pod before. However, I obtained it about an hour and a half ago, maybe, if that.
At the local 7-Eleven?
No, not quite. From I got home. I got home at a reasonable hour, but I was like, I sat down to do content because I just failed to do it last night, and I just couldn't think. I was like, whatever. So I turned on the U.S. game and was watching our ladies, and then ordered a pizza on an app, and went to pick it up at halftime. Well, it's like, oh, there's an ABC across the store. I can stop in there and just snack something real quick because I just got a bunch of old beer here. And so I went in and I was going around and I went, you know what? I kind of did 2 passes. And I went, you know what I have to get? Now, despite the result we'll talk about here later, I had to get Dab, a German beer style Dortmunder export from Dortmund, Germany.
Excellent.
And I don't think we've ever had it on the pod. I believe I've had this before. I'm almost positive I have. But you can actually head to dab-beer.com, and it's like the U.S., but it goes Dab original since 1868. What is a 3-letter word for taste? That's Dab. Your drinking today has been processed over 150 years in the making, ever since we established our brewery in 1868. It has always been and forever will be about the beer for us. Not only did we invent the Dortmunder export beer style, we laid the foundation for what modern beers taste like. Our passion for beer is reflected in every minute we spend at the brewery, every hop harvest that's carefully examined, and every drop of beer we brew. Our Dortmunder export is how everything started, but there's more to Dab than just one beer. And then it goes, proud international beer partner of Borussia Dortmund. Football brings people together, and now with Dab beer. Since 2024, our brand has been the official international beer partner of German soccer club Borussia Dortmund. This partnership celebrates passion, team spirit, and unforgettable moments, both on and off the pitch. So you can learn more about that partnership and Dab Beer, again, by heading over to dab hyphen beer.com.
And is this particular version like what you get at the stadium? Like the particular
I believe you can get this at Signal Iduna. Yeah. So whether you're cheering for BVB at Signal Iduna Park or enjoying a game at home, our beer is the perfect companion for every match day. So I've had this beer before, but I don't ever,
how have we
I
gone
didn't realize
278 episodes and we didn't get Bruce's beer on?
Well, because they've only had the partnership since 2024, as I just said. So I know I've had it, and I know that the Dortmunder export, comes from obviously the city of Dortmund in Germany. But it wasn't until I just looked this up online that they have this, U.S. version site and are an international partner of Brewtiful. I was like, great, I love this. This is perfect. We'll get to the game in a bit, but regardless, perfect.
No, this is cool. I'm on the site now.
Yeah, and what was even more cool about it was it was on sale at ABC for like $6.50 for a 4-pack.
And this is the lager?
Yeah. I was like, wow. Do that all freaking day, man.
Look, they got a Radler. They got a dark. Oh man, I'm looking at all the different beers they've got. Oh, I'd love to try the Pilsner. Maybach. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is just their main lager here. But if you go to their site, you could see it as a Dortmund Maybach or blah blah blah. This just says Dortmund Export. So it is just part of what they can sell here in the United States.
Well, here's some good news. I was able to put in my Find a Store, and it is not but a mile and a quarter from my house.
Heck
at
yeah.
the local beer store. They carry it over there.
I love it.
Got about 5 other locations near me, but that one's super close. Sweet. I might go get that this weekend then. I want to try that.
Cool, man.
That's wicked. I'm gonna have to snag some when I get back to Orlando.
And what are you drinking, Ron?
Oh, I have a story for you, gentlemen. So I am traveling due to work. I'm crawling all over stadiums and all that kind of stuff. And I am in the great city of Baltimore. And I've been working, like 12 or 14-hour days for the past couple of days, and knew we were doing the pod, but have not been able to get to a place that sells beer here in the times that they are open. So this evening, I hatch a plan. I get out of work early. I go into the beer store that I've, kind of nearby, and I pick out my beer, and then I realize I left my wallet in the car. So put the beer on the counter. I go out to my car. It's dark outside, and I'm rummaging through. Finally, find my wallet, get my credit cards out, and I start walking back to the beer store. Through the glass of the beer store, I see that the owner or the operator of the beer place is actively being held up.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Like gun and everything.
That.
Gun and everything.
What?
And I was like, son of a.
What?
So I just pull out my phone. I call 911. And they're like,
oh my God.
Like, 911, what's your emergency? And this person walks up next to me, and he's going into the thing as well. And I put my hand out, and I'm like, hey, you shouldn't go in there. And he goes, what's up? And I was like, it's being held up. And then I tell 911.
Please tell me you said it like that
Yeah, like I was so tired. I was just
being
like,
held up.
I'm so tired. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So I just call 911, right? Report it. The guy next to me is like, I can't believe this. We're standing here watching this. There's really nothing else that can be done, right? Well, we see a cop come around the corner on a bicycle.
Like a he's having to pedal
Yeah,
bicycle.
like
like
street, yeah,
he's just in the strip mall pedaling by, right?
Wow. Okay.
So we flag him down and we're like, hey, we just called 911. And he's like, yeah, I heard. And he's like, go to your cars, that kind of thing. So we go in, you see the cop like make contact with the person, not physical, but vocal. The cop is hiding by like this brick wall so he's not exposed to whatever happens. And you can hear them like shouting to each other. And then, like, I can't tell you how many cop cars showed up. Just like,
Well,
and they
yeah.
all have, it would always just like, zoo, 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 zoo. In our favorite movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
yeah, where they
when
all
all the cops show up and storm the Griswold's house, it was like that minus the SWAT team.
You serious, Clark?
I am serious, Clark. No. So once this guy sees all of the cops there, he makes a run for it. And he goes into the back.
Damn it! I wanted him to run by your car, and you like opened the door, and he just like clotheslined him. That's what I wanted. Like,
Yeah, that didn't happen. No heroes here today. He goes like running toward the back, and so all the cops like get closer to the, to the entrance of the beer place, and then the guy comes running out of the front, and he throws his firearm like at the cops, and then he slips on the ice in the front of the curb before you get to the street and eat the asphalt.
oh damn!
And the cops scoop him up and take him away. But they had to close the beer place for evidence, and so I did not get a beer. So I'm drinking Rain spring water, which was provided at the hotel.
Not
and where was this at again?
It's in Arundel Mills, like little town outside of Baltimore.
I mean, thankfully you're okay. The person behind the counter is okay, but like.
Yeah.
You can thank your absent-mindedness for leaving your wallet in the car for not being in there while it's
not being in the store.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, thank God you.
And I was so annoyed. Like, I was like just ragged out, tired from all this work. And I get to the counter, and the guy rings it up, and I switched credit cards, and I haven't put the new credit card on my phone yet. So I couldn't tap with my phone because it wasn't in my Apple Wallet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just look at the guy and I go, son of a bitch, I'll be right back.
And in that time, somebody walked in, like as you left, walked in with a loaded firearm and held him up.
Well, I don't know that it was loaded.
Loaded, but it was a firearm. Yeah.
Because he didn't fire around or anything. But I walked up and sorry about the cough, and I walk back and I'm looking at my phone and I look up and through the store window. It's like you couldn't make the movie framing any better. Like it's the guy with the outstretched firearm, and then there's the support of the door, and then the next piece of glass has the cash register guy there, right? And I go, you gotta be kidding me. And I just pull out my phone, dial 911, standing in the parking lot, no one else around. And then this guy gets out of his car, and I'm like, "Hey, don't go in there." Like, it was just like, "Can I catch a break? I just want a beer." And this on top of last night, I went to get a late night. There's this restaurant near me called the Green Turtle Sports Bar, which is a super cool place. And all I wanted last night was a Guinness, and their Guinness tap was screwed up. And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Like nothing this week was going right. On top of this, poor guy got held up.
Well,
Man, Guinness is still one of those that for all the crazy different beers I love and stuff, I get specific cravings for absolutely specific cravings for Guinness. But also, Ron, where you are, Guinness has brewed some special ones in Baltimore. And I was going to ask you if you could try to find any of those, but
I was gonna.
You're like, funny you asked, Blake. That's what I was looking for.
Yep. Because I was trying to grab some. I'm going to try and grab some so I can bring them back for Ferris to try.
The brewery that's there, do they sell?
Yeah.
Okay. If people don't realize there is a Guinness brewery in Baltimore, by the way, anybody listening, but they've got one there.
And there's distribution in the area. So like, I was like, this beer store's, highly rated. I'll go to that one. No. So I had to give a statement and all that kind of stuff because I saw it and called it in. And I'm sure I'm going to have to do some sort of Skype thing if Skype's a thing anymore.
Skype is not
actually.
But,
it's not anymore.
Yeah. So
you'll zoom in.
No beer for Ron.
Just make sure when you zoom.
Beer and your on tap that you were trying to get, Skype is no mas.
Yeah.
Yeah, just when you zoom with the judge, just make sure you don't have the cat filter on like that guy did during COVID that went all
Oh my
viral.
God, hilarious.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man. That is when you were like, I have water and I actually have a story with it. I'll tell you on the pod because you kind of said that very nonchalant as well.
Super nonchalant.
Yeah, super nonchalant. I'm thinking like, oh, you just had a long day. You were climbing stadiums. You got down and everything was closed. You didn't have time. You had to eat. You had something like that. And then you bust that out, and I'm like, what in the? Not at all what I thought you were going to say. I'm glad everybody's okay, but holy mackerel, man.
Yeah, dude.
It was like right out of a movie. Like just son of a
What a way to start off March.
right? And now on to the footy.
Well, now I'm going to enjoy my beer.
Well, we got to have. Well, I mean, sorry, but we're going to have our beer before we get on to the footy.
You're damn right. For those that are playing at home, forgetting Trogs Grand Cacao. That's what I'm going to have.
I have Dab. Yes, I have Dab, Dortmunder Export lager from Dortmund, Germany, official beer sponsor of my Borussia Dortmund.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
I've got my fancy
I got
stout
my
glass.
Inter kit on right now, but let me be very specific. My Inter Milan kit on right now.
Yeah, you be specific.
Very specific on that. But I'll have to grab my Dortmund kit here at some point so I can take a photo with Dab and the old Dortmund kit. I'm going to pour it in my Big Storm beer stein here.
This smells amazing. Look at that head retention on that stout. Ooh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That looks flipping fantastic.
Look at that.
Heck nice. Yeah, man.
That's a proper German pint.
Mm-hmm. And this is a 1 pint can, by the way. So yeah.
Oh, I like when you can actually get the can in the proper pint. Heck yeah. Well, sir, shall we?
We most certainly shall, my friend.
Cheers to Ron.
Gross. Yeah, to Ron. I'm glad you're okay.
Anywhere you can get Trogs. I think they distribute it by you guys. This Grand Cacao is flipping amazing. I like a good dessert beer that tastes like when you do a beer like this brewed with the cocoa nibs, where it's more like I prefer dark chocolate over milk chocolate. It's less sweet. You know, you have a bit of the bitter with the chocolate hint. That is this to a T. This is, I'm a dark chocolate nut when it comes to like that kind of stuff. This is right up my alley. This is delicious, man.
Didn't we brew a chocolate beer?
We made a Toblerone stout.
That's what we did.
Yeah, so we had like,
we've talked about this before on the pod.
Yeah, we had like toffee and
hazelnut.
We tried to make like our own version of a Toblerone. Yeah. It was good. I remember being quite good. It was not a total like a full mash. It was like
like partial mash.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite good. Oh my god.
Some extract. I remember that now.
This beer is flipping good. All right. On to the football.
This real quick, just a nice crisp German lager.
That looks great. It looks nice, crisp, and look at it in that half pint glass. It's perfect.
Light, just
get a good picture of that.
Goes down smooth, and I imagine it goes down even smoother at Signal Iduna Park, where man, that is one of my life goals is to see a match there.
Make sure you get a good picture of that delicious looking pint glass.
I certainly will. I probably won't get it this time around, but when I pour my next one or maybe the one after that, because I might do the whole 4-pack tonight. Who the hell knows?
I gotta tell you, if I had a 4-pack of this chocolate, I would. I only have one. My awesome wife went and got a Brewtiful Game singles pack. Just found a bunch of cool stuff and brought it back to the house, and this was one of them. It is flipping good. All right. Speaking of good, depending on where you're sitting, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1, and yet another London derby for these two squads. The game ultimately summed up by three things: set pieces, a red card, and Arsenal. Why? Because all three goals in this match were scored from set pieces. Chelsea once again got a red card, and Arsenal once again beat Chelsea for the third time in as many months. And also, technically, Arsenal scored all three goals. I do believe it's all said and done as well. Did it go? I believe it was officially an on goal, right? Yeah.
I believe, yes. Yeah. I believe you are correct.
So a big win for ultimately for Arsenal in the title race, but the main talking point from the week were Chelsea's red cards and the set piece, mainly corners, tussle with players, and how it's reffed. I feel like we have to be careful here. We should break these up because some of these get larger conversations. I feel like so. Main talking points. Shall we start with the red card problem in order there?
Sure. What problem? We don't have a red card.
Is that
problem.
9 for the season now?
10 across all competitions.
But 9 for the Premier League, right?
7 for the Premier League.
Yep.
Man.
2 for Champions League, 1 for the FA, and the third, scratch that, 1 and 1, and then Maresca was sent off in Champions League.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that like 7 in the Premier League like leads the red card race by like a healthy margin.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
the next close is like 2 or 3, right? It's not. Yeah, it's
by a bit. And in the Premier League, we have 72 yellow cards to date.
Woo!
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Well, how many red cards overall in Premier League this season?
7.
No. Sorry. I meant
total in the entire season.
In the club. Yeah. Let's see if ESPN's got this. Well, it just pulls up Chelsea at 7. Oh, who's second, guys? Quick guess. Anybody got a quick guess?
Who's
opposite side of the table team?
Yeah, Wolves.
Spurs, actually. I mean, technically it's Spurs at 3 and then Wolves at 3 as well, just under them.
Well, as of today, didn't Everton get a red? So that puts them up higher.
Everton got a right. Oh, you're right. They're at 4 now. Yep, they're at 4. So 4 were technically Everton.
Yeah,
didn't matter. We'll talk about that later. But
31 total cards across all Premier League clubs so far,
and a third of them belong to Chelsea. Holy cow! I mean, is it what's going on there? Is that just a discipline? I mean, for one, let's back him and just say it was dumb the whole way because his first one was for dissent early in the game when you shouldn't be getting dissent. And then the follow-up, a wild tackle that meant nothing. Like it was like.
Yeah, both, you said it, both were just boneheaded. Like you not only get one for just running your mouth where you don't need to, but then you're on a card and you make that kind of challenge, which is on a break off on the sideline there, knowing you're on a card. That the likelihood of going that fast at that rate on where you were opposed to Gabby Martinelli with his pace, you're not going to catch him. You're not a Dan Byrne who has legs.
But other people were
miles.
catching up. But other too, you know what I mean? Like it's not like it was
it was unnecessary. And it's not like you're a left back or center back. Like you're a left winger or a right winger, and you're making a challenge which you can't tackle anyways. You're supposed to kick the ball in the back of the net. So just dumb all around. I think that's the point that leads more to the discipline problem that Chelsea has. And Rosenior, he came out in the post match and kind of talked about that a little bit. How there is this problem, this issue that they have to deal with because it's like a pandemic. It's just it's not just one player, right? It's not like your Diego Costa or your David Luiz's that always got it. It's like the entire squad.
Well, and I know in our 2-minute drill we're going to get to this match, but it's hard not to talk about the follow. The follow up is a 4-win smashing against Villa.
Yeah,
that is just looks great. So I don't know. Like I mean, we talked about consistency, but like I don't know. It felt different. Was it I mean, look, the London derbies can always get weird, right? It doesn't matter who's doing well or whatever. Like they're just rivalry matches, so whatever can happen. Did it get into people's heads? Like it just, I'm not sure what. I'm not sure it was frustration. I'm not sure what was going on because I mean, by all accounts, like Chelsea. Apologies. I don't have the table right in front of me, but I mean, you guys are like
fifth.
You're fifth. You're doing well. Like in the sense that like out of last year, it wasn't sure how some of this team would start to gel together. And like right now, why I don't like Chelsea is I'm very worried about next year, particularly as these a couple of these kinks get worked out and the team continues to work together well because good Lord, they can score. So I just odd. That was
it's just that you don't know what team you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
well, but if you can figure that out, that's the thing.
You could have a 4-1 drubbing and then next week you're going to have a player sent off in the 30th minute.
Right. And to be fair, this match, you're playing the team right now has the best rated defense. So like a 2-1 scrappy loss isn't terrible. It's terrible when you get a stupid red in it because then it's like, well, that could have been a point. That could have been 3 points.
The other thing is that this game was not entirely Arsenal before the sending off. This was actually a pretty competitive back and forth, which
proper derby. Like it was a very scrappy,
and the reason that I had confidence before the sending off in this match, as it kind of droned on, is because for the second time, Chelsea was able to pull Arsenal out of their normal game. Arsenal doesn't normally play such back and forth, wide open games because most of the teams that they're playing against come out more defensively.
Yeah, very low block against Arsenal,
right?
Actually.
And Chelsea had a very good open play going where, where sometimes Arsenal were not the better team. And so you, if I'm not mistaken, Arsenal scored first. Oh, my God, sorry. Then there's the corner that is own goal. Chelsea, quote, ties it up. Then it comes back. Arsenal scores. Like we had a chance. And so this is another instance of uh, Chelsea losing points that were really good potential because of a dumb sending off. So it's all that much more frustrating as a Chelsea fan because although we haven't won against Arsenal in the previous two, we have played Arsenal tougher than almost anyone else. And so we can, I don't know, I feel like there's confidence there and that we're pointed in the right direction. But then we constantly pull the rug out from under ourselves with these stupid cards. Oh, it's so frustrating.
This was not a good night for Ron to not have beer.
No.
I know, right? And I can't kick this damn cold.
Does that next? So should we go in order?
Sure.
The set piece conversation.
Yeah,
I'm officially angry at it now. In that, like,
well, as an Arsenal fan, I don't know how you can because they're
no.
I mean, that's how you're winning it.
Yeah. No.
On both sides of the ball.
You misunderstand me. Angry at the comments about it because at this point, Arsenal is second for goals in open play. Obviously, they're first in set pieces. Liverpool scores like 3 set pieces, and everyone's like, "Man, look at them, composed, disciplined, playing great." You're like, okay, like, are set pieces not part of the goals, not part of the game anymore? It would be very different if Arsenal was like 10th in open play goals, and it was an absurd amount of set piece goals. But like, yeah, they're first, but they're second in open play behind Man City. So the set piece conversation, I don't
look.
Listen, the set piece conversation is a larger conversation for the whole league because it's not just Arsenal that are the offenders of this. However, like we just talked about, they're probably the worst offenders of it. There are 2 clips in this.
Well, hold on, wait. You're this is
I think we're talking about two different things.
That is going to be, I think, the tussle. That's the next subject. I would say I'm going to the set piece subject right now. If we did the red card and then the set pieces, where the comments were,
go that order. Gotcha.
Set piece FC, like, and it's that's what I'm saying. That's right.
It's set pieces are a part of the game, right? And however you get the goals, whether they're a penalty kick, a free kick, a non-direct, a corner kick, they're part of the game. There's a reason that Arsenal's set piece coach is the highest paid in the league, and why he gets a bonus every time they score a goal. So that man just raking in cash at this point.
Oh my God, I know. Can you imagine, dude?
It's because they are the best in the league, and Arsenal have just figured it out and have made it better. It's like the tush push in the NFL. It's not an illegal play. It's awkward. It's
and a really name.
Oh, the tush push. Oh, yeah.
But no pun intended. But it's just annoying for other teams because they're not as good at it.
But
right?
But the other side of that is, Ron said it earlier, teams play a low block defensively against Arsenal. So what do you get if you keep coming in and going for goal?
Yeah, sure.
You're going to get tons of corners. I mean, that's the other side of it. So the other option would be, cool, hey teams, play open. Just don't play low block defensively against Arsenal. But I don't think they would do that either. I mean, that would
but at the end of the day, it's a no-win situation for Arsenal from a comment and public opinion, right? Like, it's a no-win situation, right? Yeah. Everybody loves to hate on Arsenal, so you could do everything, absolutely perfect. All your goals could come from open play, no pens, right? No set pieces, and then they'd say, "Well, Arsenal's set pieces, right? Like, you can't win."
No,
right?
No.
Just go win the title and move on.
That's where I say I'm getting frustrated because it's like, I mean, if you're constantly going at the other goal, there's a lot of defenders back there whose corner pieces are going to happen. So you know what? if that's how they're going to play against you, then yeah, get a good set piece coach and go, we'll make you eat that then. To be honest, were you surprised that Chelsea didn't try their tactic, or did you think it would?
Yes.
They thought it was too dangerous because
Right. I was wondering the same thing. Yeah,
what was
I put that in our group. Like, why did we abandon our strategy?
Do you think it's
great
because like they would be afraid that it would be countered because they'd be prepared for it?
No, I still think the strategy is sound and the threat is still there, right? If there is a rebound and they can get it out to their Chelsea forward players, it's going to be 2-3 on 1, right? So that is a sound strategy. And of course, once you go a man down, you'd have to scrap it anyway. But you didn't even try it in the beginning. So like it made no sense to me. You had the personnel on the field to do it.
I was really surprised that it didn't happen right in the beginning. And you know, when it didn't happen right from the get-go, it's like, I don't think it's not going to happen.
It just didn't make sense. It really disarmed Arsenal. And there's not a ton of great strategy for Arsenal to counter that with. What are you going to do? Load the box and leave all those Chelsea players open in case there's a rebound? Right?
I mean, I suppose the other side of that, right? It's 0-0, right? You pull the people to do that and say Arsenal doesn't drop back and they score an easy goal and you like a 0 real quick. I mean, I suppose it's like, screw it. We're going to go for it on 4th down with 7 yards to go. We make it. We're brilliant coached. If you don't, what an idiot, you know? Like, I
don't know. I think you try it, right? Like, what do you got to lose?
Right. Well, I mean, in this case, what you have, I guess maybe that's where I'm like, you know, why wouldn't you try that more in like the EFL Cup where you did have something to lose? You know what I mean? Like they had to kind of go for it and didn't. And then in this one, you do have something to play for because, you know, you're trying to hold on. Where are we sitting at right now, Ferris? We're at Chelsea in 5th. I mean, it's going to be a fight to try and get into Champions League spot. Now there might be, obviously, then we might get a 5th slot. So, but still, Liverpool hanging right out there. So I don't know. I'm with you though, Ron. I was surprised to not see that raise its head in this match.
Why didn't somebody try this? Just go with me here a second because the thought just kind of came to me. Why don't you have like a protective human circle around your goalie of the players that are trying to defend? Right? You basically just do a barricade around your own goalie of pretty much everybody that's on the pitch minus maybe 2. So what I would do is you have 1 on each post, which they don't really do anymore in the league, and then you just have a human shield around your goalie. Then where is Arsenal going to go? Then they might have 3 people out in the box, but then right before the ball's kicked, they spread out and go towards those players.
Does that break? Well, okay. In that case, would I be like, okay, I'm gonna play this short and then go in?
Yeah, but you still have so many players in front of goal. Good luck trying to get it past all.
But you know what's gonna happen, Ferris? With that many in goal, you're gonna whack the ball there. It's gonna go out. It's another corner, and Arsenal still set piece FC. like
I'm just on the flat there. Or just have a straight line across the goal line of all the defending players. I mean, just do something like to that point. Just do something outlandish to try something else to kind of disarm him and go, what the F is going on here with this?
Well,
yeah,
because I think that's going to lead into our next kind of
so how set pieces are reffed. I mean, and real quick people were like, well, in this match, but then it was like, well, yeah, but actually it's all of them.
Well, and I'll go to the Man United and Everton game a few weeks back. What Everton we're on top of the goalie, on top of so you just have United players trying to push the Everton players. That's all they're doing is and Arsenal have done this as well. They just surround the goalie and get touch tight to him. So now you want to step in for your goalies. Now you're starting to tussle. And you're trying to get in between the other team and your goalie, and you're trying to push and you're shoving. It causes this chaos of like a rugby type huddle around your goalie. I think that's one thing that has to stop. The other thing you saw in this match is the amount of players that straight up bear hug during. That's not defending.
Right. And that's rampant. That's rampant everywhere.
Yeah, everybody's got their arms around, like, yeah.
Correct. In this match, it was really to the forefront on two different occasions. Right there towards the end of the half, on the first corner that Chelsea took, Declan Rice is bear hugged around. I think Pedro, if I'm not mistaken. Not only is he bear hugged around him, but as the ball comes in, it hits Declan Rice's arm.
Well, yeah, that's because Pedro.
It's bear hugged around.
It's around his not his neck, but like it's on his shoulder. It's not a bear hug.
Natural defending position to be wrapped around there, and then it goes on goal and gets saved. Now,
hold on. And Declan Rice makes a move toward the ball with his elbow to deflect that ball. So there's a foul for being draped over the guy. There is also a handball offense at the same time, and none of that was called.
And VAR didn't even have a look at it. Like, what are you looking at?
So
mind-blowing that, the ref may not have seen it, but mind-blowing that VAR didn't. Now, soccer justice was served because on the very next ensuing corner, it was
own goal.
So I think ended up being a mute point. That's the first one. The second one is the one that I sent you guys in our chat. In about the 56th minute, it was 2-1. Chelsea are on the attack and have a chance to tie it up. There's a corner. That is, yes, Joao Pedro gets kind of punched in the face by David Raya. I don't really consider that like a punch in the face.
Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that was
they were both going for the ball.
Yeah,
right, but I don't remember who the defender was. Was it Saliba maybe? That was, again, literally bear hugging to where the player can't move his arms, and Joao Pedro's trying to go for a 50-50 ball with the goalie, and he's being bear hugged.
The picture is in our chat.
Two arms in any way.
Yeah, the picture's in our chat. You'll see exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's wild. You're like, how is that not even one called and even addressed by VAR as a foul in the penalty box on a live play?
Yeah, he's got his arms wrapped around him, and his hands are clasped around each other.
Here's the thing.
That's a 50-50 ball that, who knows, they could have tied it up right there. It's not VR doesn't have a look.
Here's what I don't like, though, is like, so the people like talking about it.
Sorry, real quick. If you guys look to the extreme right in that picture,
there's another player. Yeah,
there is Badiashile being bear hugged by an Arsenal player, also in the exact same picture.
He's actually just cupping his man chest. I don't know if the bear hugs are a little more around. That's just like feeling that nice new. He wanted to feel that nice new kit sponsor.
Yes. He's there is space for the Lord between and Ember's hands there. Saliba has his fingers locked in the bear hug position around Joao Pedro.
So here's
there's no room for the Lord there. I
don't like, though, is so David Moyes and Arne Slot are like, this sucks and it's ruining the league. Your guys are doing some of the worst of it too.
Yes,
that's the thing. Like, I don't. And so what is it like? So there's a BBC article out that I pulled up prior to having this conversation where, a lot of it is with 16 people packed into, said former Premier League assistant referee Darren Cann. It was talking with him at the BBC Sport. Said something needs to be done, but at the corner kick situations, there's as many as 16 players packed into a 6-yard box. So it's becoming a nightmare for the referee team to police. And I think what they don't want to happen is basically go, when it's a corner, it's just VAR. I think they don't want to do that spirit of the game, I said with air quotes, where it's just basically then it's like how the NFL is like, if it's a scoring play, you know what I mean? Like everything is.
I get that to an extent, right? Because there's a lot of this happens before the ball's kicked, so the ball's not in play. There's a lot of pushing, shoving stuff.
Again, as we said before, if you don't have a VAR, it's a slightly different conversation.
Well,
Right.
to a degree. However, you start to issue penalties, VAR starts to issue penalty calls there. Nobody's going to argue if VAR shows that picture to the ref on screen and he says, can you point out a foul there? Oh, I can point out 2 right away. Now the ball is live in play for a possible scoring opportunity, right? And I think that draws to the bigger picture here that this is how it's been reffed this season. That VAR doesn't usually intervene with this, that unless the ref sees something so blatantly where there's a hug, there's a bear hug and the player falls down in a dramatic manner and all of these things, they're not going to call it. And I think we will see in the offseason a rule change to some extent with this.
And I don't necessarily buy the argument that VAR shouldn't be involved in this because there's kind of so much going on. And I mean, how many times was there crazy, weird scoring plays that they have to go and they have to look so far back in the buildup to make sure that there wasn't a foul offense or, something like that. VAR will shut down a game for 5 minutes while they figure something out, right? Like this should be no exception. And,
Right.
and as we said, this is just the latest example in games on games on games this season where we're seeing, like outright tackles because Joao Pedro gets punched in the head by Raya in the opposite direction than where he falls. So this is not a bear hug. This is a tackle, like a good old rugby American football style tackle, right? When I played football as a kid, and the first thing they tell you is wrap up your opponent.
Yeah, same.
This is a tackle.
So part of the problem is to get into the nitty gritty of this is fans don't like corners being retaken, but that's what has to happen because technically by the rule, the grappling begins before the ball goes into play and they can only restart a corner. You can't do a penalty prior to, right? So they're already scrambling. Right. No. But so that's part of the problem is then as soon as they go into the corners, it's already a mess is what they're saying. So like one option, who said this?
Right?
Well, one option would be that you once the whistle blows that you can call a foul or anything like that prior.
Well, hold on. We have the offside technology to get the frame right to where the player is kicking the ball, and then we draw the semi-automated offside line, and we see that the person exhaling, the exhalation makes him offside. You can take the frame by frame of the game to where the ball is contact is made from the corner and then look at all those players and go, there's a foul, there's a foul, there's a foul. Retake.
On one just screenshot. And this isn't like they just caught the players at the wrong time. This is fluid.
That's the second the ball kicked.
The ball is live and people are going for the ball.
Now I like this.
And he was running down the field and got tackled from behind the way that Saliba is tackling Pedro. It's an instant call, right? But because it's a bunch of players grappling in the box, this isn't grappling. This isn't like you're boxing out somebody, right? Or you're playing a little hands and push with the player, and you're really botting up against him, and you're doing like a check. No, this is you are bear hugging. That man's hands are interlocked around the player, holding down the two arms of another player.
I like this.
When you jump, try jumping like a fish with both your arms down by the side. It doesn't really work as well as if you had your arms free, and you look ridiculous doing it.
But now don't discount the attackers that once it starts, they jump backwards into play. Like it's everybody. It's everybody.
I don't care.
Slamming into each other
in this image.
Well, no, you're right because that's the image after, dude.
But if but an attacker gets called on those fouls as well, and they always read it the other way. So it's the consistency at which this is called, and they have to start calling.
Well,
this.
it is actually consistent because right now they don't call it, but it is consistent,
and it needs to be. Well, it needs to be called. These are blatant fouls, and as we talked about, set pieces are massive in the title race, or in wins alone, or in points alone. Set piece goals, whether or not they would have scored on this, who knows, right? They very well may have beaten Pedro the ball.
I do like this,
but a goal in this scenario would have changed the game and could have changed the title race. Right, it has that possibility of doing it. Set pieces are crucial to the game. Look how Arsenal may win the title via second most.
So why don't you just get better at scoring set pieces?
Correct, but he can't score it if he's being bear hugged and tackled to the ground.
We managed to score.
Play in any law of the game.
We managed to score. Why can't they? I'm just saying, like,
start.
Now,
absolutely.
Blake is just being a jackass to be a jackass.
Yeah.
But right, the arsenologist on the other side, there's just.
Now, I do like this former assistant referee on the BBC. His idea is that make a simple change. Attackers must start outside the goal area, 6-yard box before the corner is taken, and they have to
love that
come in.
Yeah, great.
That is actually
do it like you would on a free kick, right? Where they set the offside line there, and then everybody's there, right? Absolutely, because then you're really going to tell where the foul's at or not.
Yeah.
Because now you have people on the line kind of trying to run for the ball. So yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah, and a lot of the conversation,
and that solves two things, right? The goalie's not being impeded by 17 million players, and you could do set plays off of that. It's just off of a corner.
I do like what this BBC article said, like, because at the end it's like it should be remembered that as we are discussing this, only because players and coaches are always trying to find the extra edge to score a goal. It might be the law change is really needed to stop players throwing each other around as corner is about to be taken, or maybe it's just a Premier League problem. But right now, set piece goals in the Premier League are 27% for this season. For Serie A, it's 24%. For Bundesliga, it's 22%. So it's not like there's not a lot of set pieces being scored all over the place. I would love to know.
Hold on, there should be one. We should separate two things here. One, corners and set piece goals.
Yes,
because corners. This happens in corners more than it does in.
It doesn't really happen.
Set piece goals that are being taken from somewhere midfield, or this happens in corners every time in every game.
And it's seeming that as these corners are being more schemed, it's targeting players and their strategy involved with this. So they're getting around. Well, I don't know if they're getting around rules.
Oh, okay. So
they're called, right? Because if they start getting called for this, players are going to be much more aware that, hey, we can't just wrap up this. This player. We have to change how we're kind of coaching, how we're teaching, how we're putting our strategy together for this.
Okay, so for this season, for corner kicks, it's 18.7% for Premier League. It's 17.8% for Serie A. So I mean, it's still pretty close when it's all said and done.
For what goals?
For corner goals. Or is this goals originate from corner kicks? Yeah.
But I mean,
but I'm trying to draw the comparison or the differentiation between set pieces that are originating from the field after cynical fouls on field, as opposed to the fouls in corner kicks, right?
Okay.
Because really, it's not set piece goals in general that this is happening at. This is a concentration in corners
So-
that you're seeing this.
But let's take this on the other side. If they tomorrow started calling this tighter and everybody backed off, that's probably still really good for Arsenal.
Maybe.
I mean, that's
Like-
you keep making it about Arsenal. I am not making it about Arsenal. I'm making it about across the league. Who cares about who's? It's got to be fair for everybody, and the calls have to be made consistently. So forget about Arsenal for the moment. Every team is doing this. Some are just doing it better than others.
Yeah, like I got one here, the Man United and Everton match, and it's a mess.
Well, yeah, that's what we had. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I first said. Absolute mess. Something has to be done.
I'm just saying, I might, if they did make the change, I think I would take it right now because I still think that would work out in Arsenal's favor. If they did
They're not going to make a
next week.
change mid. They may change.
Yeah,
how
they won't.
It's refed, but and I don't know if it's going to be an actual change to any laws because, right? There's nothing in there that's saying that you can tackle an opponent and get away from it, right? There's however it's between contact and dangerous play at it. All that stay the same, but how the directive from Howard Webb and the PGMO LFT PPGG, how the directive is told on how this should be refed, or maybe how VAR looks at it.
It's no
we
different
might
than
get in that.
it's no different than flops. If you're going to let it happen, don't complain when they're happening. I mean, the referees. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you've made it so that, man, I didn't need to flop, but if I had gone down easy, you probably would have stopped play. That's what I learned when I didn't do it and this team scored, and the next time the other team does this against us, and it stopped play. Like,
but I feel you see a good amount of cards handed out for the opposite, right? So it kind of balances itself out over, in the end with that, right? They may counter ref once, but if that's in a lead up to a goal, VAR is normally going to intervene. But more times than not, it's pretty evident, and a player gets a card, so it's being punished. And
it's like they're afraid. Why are they afraid to ref the corners?
I don't know. And it's whether it's the fluidity of the game, but at the same point, when it's this blatant, when it's what you're seeing from Everton and United, what you're seeing in this game, it's a different tactic that is, I think, against the spirit of the set piece, against the rules, right, against the laws, that sort of thing. That maybe they're just figuring it out in real time as well, and something is going to change in the off season. But like the PGMOL can't look at this screenshot here and feel good about how this set piece, this corner, was done by VAR or by the ref.
So did time wasting get better, or has the PGML stopped calling it? They really threw out a lot at the very beginning of the season.
I've seen goalies.
I don't think it's as.
Get
I don't
cards.
think
I've
it's.
seen players get cards for kicking away the ball. So I think it has been addressed, and it's not a big problem. Right, you can time waste to some extent, but usually a goalie.
It's not as blatant anymore. Certainly,
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it is, they're going to be handed a card.
Because there it's easy. It's like one person, right?
Right. And nobody's handing out cards for this or issuing a penalty kick for this. That's where the problem is. It's not being punished, so people are getting away with it. Teams are getting away with it. Players are getting away with it.
let's move on. I'm over it.
Oh, yeah, we are. Woof.
It's all good. Like I said, best teams just get better at them. Quit complaining. Moving
Shove
on.
it up here.
I like that the more beer Ron has, the salt. Sorry, the more water Ron has, the saltier he gets. Over to the 2-minute drill. Ferris, you're up first.
All right, we're trying to fly through this. And for once, we will kick it off with the Wolves, as they had themselves one hell of a week. First, a 2-0 win over Aston Villa last Friday. And then just yesterday, a 2-1 win over Liverpool in the dying minutes at Molineux. Listen, they are still way down there with only a very minimal amount of points and 12 points from safety. But what a job has handsome Rob Edwards done with this squad.
I know statistically it would be insane, but boy, would that be wild.
It would be, but man, they're just a rising team and they're scoring goals. And the other thing, how many is it Buenos or what's the name they have on there that's like Hugo Bueno, something Bueno, Tom Bueno. They have, let's see here. Oh yeah, they have Santiago Bueno, Hugo Bueno.
Yeah.
By
the way, they had 34% possession this match. They barely
matter. They also have Gomes. They have Angel Gomes.
So
Joao Gomes, Rodrigo Gomes.
So do you guys think Liverpool's getting a weird pass this season from like punditry and what have you? Because I feel like winning the league last year, spending $500 million and crapping the bed this year quickly on their title chances were out the window fairly quick.
I don't think Liverpool are. I think Slot is.
Fair enough. I should be. Yes.
And I think it's fair, right? You win a title in your first year, but a lot more pressure is going to be heaped on him next season if this is it, right? And when we talk about the title and title race, it comes down to consistency. And so far, Arsenal have been the most consistent in the league, where City haven't been, Man United haven't been.
I mean, look,
Aston Villa haven't been.
Salah
Chelsea
had the golden
been.
boot by a lot last year, right? Completely different this year. There's a lot that's going on.
Completely changed the dynamic of your attacking in that by who you brought in, and they've been decent, right? I mean, especially Tiki, I think I got the first goal in the game yesterday as well, or maybe it was on their last game. But anyways, he's been probably their standout. But I think their inconsistency for what they were last season is going to cost them. And I think they're going to get a little bit of a break, especially Slot.
I think Slot's gone by December, man.
Next season?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Can I throw?
I don't know. It's going to depend on how, like, if they finish 5, 6, 7 this year, and then they have a good run next season, he'll be fine. But if they finish 5, 6, 7 this year, and then they're atrocious in the beginning of next year, you might be right.
They're a mess. Though this match did provide me with a very fun stat. Do you guys know what it is?
No.
So, hold on. Let me. Where's the stat? Here we go. After this match, the Wolves, in 1 week, won 2 games, 2 Premier League home matches, equaling the total number of home league matches that the Tottenham Hotspurs managed to win since April 2025.
What a great stat.
Sorry, you get an early whip crack for that one. Because I saw that, I was like, that can't be, oh my God, that's true. And Spurs, we're not on this list because we're recording the day before the Spurs play Palace tomorrow. But not for nothing, Wolves, you got a lot of crap above you. You go for it, man. You might be able to do this.
God, it would be.
Could you imagine?
So great to see them relegated.
Oh man.
Everton find themselves up in 8th, as they too have had themselves a good week. First, a 3-2 win on the road over Newcastle. I didn't see that one coming. Nope. And then yesterday, a 2-0 clean sheet, a win over Burnley. So can Everton push on for the long-awaited Europe place with good old Mr. Moyes?
It's been a while since them and Moyes as a pair have been in Europe, but
I'll tell you what, man. If they get into Europe, without a doubt, I would be spitting angry if David Moyes wasn't called the manager of the year. Because, like, if this Everton manages to get into Europe, that's huge, man.
maybe we'll talk about a club here next whose managers had a damn fine job. But I think what's interesting here is Everton might be in a better position if they'd win more at home. Since being in this new stadium, they've barely won in the league at home. I think it's only like 3 or 4 games on the season they've won at home. Their home form has been dire. I think if they have any shot to get into Europe, they need to win the rest of their home games.
I just would think if they got into Europe, he would be my vote, because when you consider what they have compared to those above them, this is beginning of the season was, could they be relegated?
Sure, but do you want to talk about a team above them? Go ahead and read that next headline.
All right, let's do it. Brentford find themselves a notch above the aforementioned Everton as the Bees are up in seventh place, 4 points behind Liverpool, with a crazy 4-3 win over Burnley, which saw them almost give up a 3-0 lead on the weekend, and a 0-0 yesterday against Bournemouth. Not enough good things can be said about the job that Keith Andrews has done at Brentford following the loss of their 2 main scorers from last season, as well as following the footsteps of club legend Thomas Frank. Go on, Keith.
Listen, I think he was leading the sack race like at the beginning of the season, because nobody saw this coming. I think he might have been a set piece coach, or he was some coach for them that got promoted. You lose Thomas Frank, you lose your 2 goal scorers. You now have you still have, but a golden boot and that's up there in the race. You're up in 7th. You have a +4 on 44 points. Like, that's crazy. Like, Thomas Frank really wasn't even doing this type of stuff. For kind of a no-name coach out of nowhere, if they finish up there and they get themselves into Europe, 100% he is coach of the year. No questions asked for me.
I don't know. We'll see how it ends.
Yeah, you think they can do? I don't know.
All right. So, do you think them or Everton have a better shot?
There's something about Moyes right now that I'm like, I could see Everton, if they could pull this off, end above Liverpool. Oh my God, like that, like how huge would that be for them? But I don't know if they could do that, but I mean, I feel like Brentford still okay. Burnley sucks. Burnley shipped 3 goals on them, so I'm not 100%.
Yeah,
I'm not comfortable either way. But right now, Everton feels like in a good spot, and there's 8-9 games left. Right, not 9 games left. So like, I give it a 52% to Everton right now. I'm still more, but you know what I mean? 50, 55, 45 or something like that.
Come on, Bees. And thank you for Brian and Buemo. Well, speaking of Buemo, but Carrick is certainly at the wheel, as on the weekend he and United drove past Palace on the last lap with a 2-1 win over the Eagles. But then in their next race, crashed and burned on the last lap with a 2-1 loss today up in Newcastle to a 10-man squad in the second half from a wonder goal in the 85th minute by Danish substitute William Asulu. So up in third is where United went on Sunday, and they remain there in the table, tied on 51 points with Aston Villa.
Speaking of inconsistency, freaking Newcastle.
Yeah.
Just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah. I looked up and saw the red card, and I didn't bother looking at this match against Ferris, and I was back at work, and then like I got a little notification, and I was like, wait, what? What happened? That's just, I just thought, well, Newcastle's doing this again. Like,
well,
the simulation of the century.
Well, and it was also like, I mean, this was happening all game. There was players falling all over the place, and United and Cunha were in some of that too. But Newcastle were trying to fall every time. It was just, the ref was handing out cards in the first half like it was candy for tackles that if you keep your card in the pocket, you're not handing them out as much, because they weren't bad. Players were going to ground a lot. This one was weird in this, that he got sent because of simulation on a second yellow, but it's almost like the player like he was trying to flop, realized, oh crap, I'm on a first yellow, and then kind of stood and fell. Like, it was very, very, it's like he realized halfway through.
That's a really great description.
I can't do this. And he was still caught doing it.
That's a really good description of exactly
Because
what
that's
happened.
how it looked.
It's like
And
a kid getting caught, handed the cookie jar.
Yeah. And then just kind of went down. And it's like he tried to like roll, like, oh no, it wasn't really a foul. I just kind of went down. But no, he got caught. But listen, Newcastle were the better just overall team in this game. This looked like United not used to playing midweek games, which they're not because they're not in Europe, and just missed chances. A few good saves here and there, but the substitutes weren't great for United. They were not firing, and Newcastle behind a home crowd where they just lost on the game that we said last there to Everton. Needed a win. They got one. And listen, we're in third and they're in 12th. So
Carrick's first loss.
First loss in charge. Yeah.
Yep, first one. That's a pretty good run when it's all said and done. Oh, yeah, that rhymed. I didn't mean to.
Well done. Speaking of the villains, they have had themselves a pretty week, as not only did they lose to the Wolves, like we just mentioned, but earlier today, Chelsea, out of nowhere, uncharacteristically, no red card in this game. And we beat them 4-1 at Villa Park, courtesy of Joao Pedro hat trick. Garnacho gets an assist. Cole Palmer puts one in the back of the net. High-flying Chelsea. Villa are still in the top four, as we kind of mentioned last week. Do we think they're going to stay in the top four? Is it going to be top five?
You beat up Villa like they were the Spurs. It was brutal.
2 losses in a row for Villa. Like Wolves proving obviously kind of tough, but still a bad loss to the bottom team that's only on 16 points with a minus 30 goal difference. And then you follow it up by a smashing by a Chelsea team who have quality. They're good. You're in a race for the top 4 with.
But Villa's certainly been more consistent.
They're only 3 points behind you now. So no, I don't think Villa. I think Villa will end up somewhere in the 7th to 8th range outside of European places.
Yeah, what a weird fall from grace. They felt like such a sure thing there for a bit of just sticking around in that 3rd or 4th slot, you know?
Yeah, and to add insult to injury real quick, because we won't talk about it in the Liga's roundup, they shipped Donnie Malin off to Roma in Italy during the January transfer window. He just scored the game-winning goal and has like 3 or 4 goals since he's been over there against Juventus. And Roma beat Juventus this past weekend 3-2. He's bagging goals over there. They wish they had him on here coming off the bench or doing whatever and bagging goals because Oli Watkins ain't doing it. Tammy Abraham just came in, is doing okay. I think he has 2 goals. I saw something like that on the year, but that's it.
Man, Oli Watkins, that was everybody wanted him for a hot second, and that's not happening right now at all. And Man City had a so-so week as they edged past Leeds on Saturday with a 1-0 win at Ellen Road. Oh boy, is their manager upset with that one. Or Leeds manager, I should say. And boy, love that here. Listen to that dude do a press conference. He's great. That's a good part. Yeah, he gets hot. But then today they dropped points in the race for their title as they could have only imagined a 2-2 draw at home to visiting Nottingham Forest. By the way, giving up the lead twice too in the way that played out. 7 points adrift now from lead leader Arsenal's. Does City have enough to see out another smash and grab title? I mean, look, they have 9 matches left. Arsenal have 8.
I think they're talented. I think Pep's one of the best to ever do it. So yeah, they certainly have a chance. They just are they going to be consistent enough till the end of the year? These type of games, these type of performances where they had the lead and they can't just see out the game like they used to be able to do. That's happened a lot this season. So if that continues, then no, I don't think they're going to get the title.
Their schedule is
friendly.
It's not terrible. West Ham, then in the league only. West Ham, their Crystal Palace game was postponed. Then Chelsea on April 12th after the EFL Cup final. Then
That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
yeah, then Man City Arsenal on April 19th, Burnley, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa. It's once you get past the Arsenal, like what, 2 times in consecutive
Yeah.
months, right? Like once you get past that, you have a relatively favorable schedule.
Yeah,
if you're Man City.
I'd say Brentford. I mean, Aston Villa on the last day could be playing for a whole lot. I mean, so could Man City, but they could be playing for a whole lot. That certainly could make things dangerous.
And was that at home for City or away?
That is it. The last match is Man City at home against Villa. The prior to that, it's Bournemouth, which you also could be playing for a lot. The next to last match is Bournemouth at Bournemouth against City. So, friendly, but that hasn't really meant anything. Friendly looking schedule, but so is a Forest match, right? So,
Sure.
Yeah, certainly.
I think Arsenal have the harder schedule.
I did not expect that today with Man City and not Nottingham, but by any stretch of the means.
They have Everton, then Bournemouth in the league.
And
then they
two
have
clubs that historically have always given Arsenal problems every season.
Man City Arsenal, then Arsenal Newcastle, then Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Going to be an official race to the end.
Well,
and then guess where I will hopefully become when in April there when Man City and Arsenal play each other, which could be a huge game.
you'll be at the fan
Bad
experience,
best.
right? At
Tampa,
yeah.
That's an early game. It's like a 7 a.m. game, so I'm gonna be there, early on Sunday. But no, I've already pre-registered and registered, so hopefully I can get in and get to that.
Excellent. Wear your Brewtiful Game scarf.
Yes, sir.
Give out some magnets.
I got some right here, so absolutely good call.
All right. That gets us to a halftime. Ron, all the news that's fit to drink in Ron's beer news.
You cared about your beer earlier. That's some beer news that like I've never heard it before.
I know. I don't, how do you top that?
I'm certainly not. I will tell you that, remember we talked middle of last year, Tilray Brands bought a whole bunch of stuff from Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
Right? Well, guess what they went and did for themselves? They bought Brewdog.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yep. So we talked about Brewdog, having a lot of trouble and having to go in administration. A U.S. company, Tilray Brands, has bought the U.K.'s brewing operations brand and 11 pubs in a $33 million deal.
Man, when craft brewery is having a struggle over it, that's a wild chunk of change to throw down and buy such a large one. Wonder what they are thinking.
But it's also a steal. $33 million for all of that.
Well, that's true too. You got to
Brewdog
operate
is
it
a
all.
gigantic brand.
But I guess that's part of it, right? Like if you're going to turn and operate all that, I mean, you are throwing down a ton of money.
Well,
Ferris just got naked on the pod. What is happening? My God.
I can't see.
You weren't supposed to say that. I was supposed to be in the background here.
I just looked
Trying
up.
to get a photo of the beer with the damn.
With your shirt off?
Ferris had no shirt on. I was like, "What's happening?" It's because he's switching to a Dortmund jersey. But I just looked up and was like, "What? Ferris is naked. What's happening over here?"
I thought he was going to get a true Florida man picture with his beard.
That's what I thought, man.
Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say anything on the pod. I was trying to do all. I was still listening. Oh.
See, surprising nudity is why we can't do a video version of this.
Exactly.
I mean, it happens every other week. Administrators said that they, when the U.S. Beverage and Medical Cannabis Company bought the UK brewing operations for Brewdog, the sale preserved 733 jobs. Unfortunately, that left 484 jobs to be lost. They closed 38 bars and 2 brewing locations.
I mean, it's better than everything going away, but still.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's quite the add to the Tilray Brands portfolio now, right? So now they have Shock Top, Breckenridge, Blue Point, 10 Barrel, Red Hook, Widmer Brothers, Square Mile Cider, Sweetwater Brewing, Montauk Brewing, Alpine Brewing, Green Flash Brewing, Hop Valley, Terrapin, Revolver, Atwater, and then all of the brands for from Brewdog. That's quite the ad.
That's
And like you
huge.
said, Blake, that's a bit of a potentially a bit of a gamble here in the respect that the craft brewing industry is not doing all that well right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing with it and how they end up, kind of promoting and trying to maintain a business model, whatever that business model is going to end up being. So keep your eyes out on BrewDog and the and Tilray brands, because something's coming.
I don't know what it is, but it's coming tonight. It's a little West Side Story for you all.
Thank you.
Is that all the news that's fit to drink, Ron?
That is all the news that's fit to drink.
All right, coming out of the half, let's get to this La Liga's roundup.
All right, and reporting live on this pod, we take it out to maybe somewhere in Scotland, maybe not, but to our Scottish correspondent, Blake.
Oh, here we go. Once again, up in Scotland at Tynecastle Park on Saturday, league leaders Hearts were able to once more maintain their 5-point lead at top of the Scottish Premier League with another 1-0 win, this time over Aberdeen, courtesy of their Portuguese striker, Claudio Braga. With a goal in the 28th minute, Braga on the year leads the club with 12 goals in the season, good enough for third place in the Golden Boot race. No Hearts 5-point lead was held intact, also courtesy of Celtic, and wouldn't you know it, but an old firm derby that was won for the ages at Ibrox, the home of their fierce rivals, the Rangers. Celtic was able to ping back a 2-goal first half deficient on road, courtesy of former Arsenal tucked-in kit Scotsman Kieran Tierney. God, we love that boy. Headed in the first for the Celts in the 56th minute, and then in the most dramatic derby way ever, VAR had their say as a handball at the very death in the 90th was awarded to Celtic. Up stepped their Japanese guru, Ryo Hatate, who not once, not twice, but on the third try, tied the match following 2 great saves by Jack Butland, also a good name, in the Rangers' goal. So 2-2 is how it ended in the 450th playing of the Old Firm Derby. 450th, that's amazing. So 2 questions. Who owns the most wins in the Old Firm Derby?
Do you guys know? Take a guess.
I think in modern history it's the Celtics, but I think it's the Rangers in the long term.
Ron?
I think it's the Rangers.
You both are correct. By 1 game.
Oh, God.
Total official matches
rivalry.
450. Rangers win 172. Celtic wins 171. Draws 107 over 1,200 goals.
That's a rivalry.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. And number 2, which Hearts of Midlothian FC kits are we planning on getting?
The black one.
That black one's good. Although I do
love
like
that. I like the white one too, though.
But I do
Or
like
the red
burgundy.
one, like that that dark maroon one.
I think this. Okay, hold on. I think this. Say they do win, right? We're 3 people on the pod. There's 3 different kits. We all have to get one of the 3 kits.
Wait, am I reading
Not
this
the same
right?
kit.
If I go to their website, I don't know why I'm still Scottish, but I am. If I go to their website, I say $44 for a home short adult kit.
Yeah.
Or for a home
No,
kit.
what you looking at?
No. Oh, I see. It was loading weird.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Oh, that long sleeve home.
So So $82. All right.
And let's see how much the away is for the adults. And let's see for.
I mean, that maroon red, like what a stunning color. Look, to be honest, I may just get both.
But I think we all have to get one of them. That white though,
I'm not getting white. Sorry.
I don't own a whole lot of white ones, and I really like that. $89, well worth it.
No, wait, I'm trying to.
2XL, they sure do. $89 out the door.
It's those stripes, man. It's almost like a Scottish baseball soccer kit.
I know. It's so the black one's sharp, but like I own some black kits, but like I don't own a whole lot of white kits.
No, it's true. And I'm trying to look at like what's in that. There's something that's cool about that. I'm with Ron though. I'm not typically a
home too. Like they're just sharp kits.
I might get one of each
because like
I can't pass up that deep maroon with that cool texture on it.
So then you're doing that. So then it's up to Blake and I. Blake, I'm good with whatever you decide. I'll do the opposite.
Man, I'm just looking overall. Just in the overall, they have good looking stuff.
Yeah, they do.
They're retro track jackets and stuff. Like they're really.
I don't have this team in Scotland now. I say that, but I'm Catholic, so I'm kind of de facto to a team.
But you're kind of Catholic adjacent.
Yeah,
right?
But
it's not like you're practicing
I'm
Catholic.
definitely not Rangers by any stretch. I am much more Celtic than I am anything, and that's a team that I've kind of just I root for and they for Darmies and that sort of thing. But like Hearts, you're winning the heart.
Oh, that's tough, man. I don't know if we're gonna have to look at this. I like that black one. I like that white one. I like the maroon one. I don't know, man. That maroon one might have me sold.
Okay, but if we do all three different ones,
I'm going to go to Scotland in October. I'll be wearing this thing.
Yeah, whatever it is, I want a long sleeve version. If they have a long sleeve version available, yeah, I'm getting a long sleeve version.
Do they have a long sleeve of the away? I don't see it. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Have it on the away, and they have it. They have it of all of them. And like the long sleeve of the away, I mean, they're just sharp. Man, come on, Hearts.
All right, Ferris. From Scotland over to Germany.
Oh, this one hurts. I was actually not able to watch it because I was doing a gig at a $12 million home, but that's a story for another day.
Ron, it's funny because coincidentally he was holding that place up, but we'll talk about that later.
In the Der Klassiker, Dortmund was looking good, man. I got the alert in the first half. They were up 1-0 going into half. And then Harry Kane, that pretty English that won me $2,000 a few years ago from a DFS lineup, broke my heart. He came back, scored a brace in the second half, and Bayern ended up winning 3-2. Schlotterbeck was the goal scorer in the first. For half, he's been just a great center back for us.
That I don't think I checked a bit. That goal differential for Bayern is insane. 65, and the next closest is Dortmund at 26.
Yeah, it's insane.
God,
absolutely,
man. Woof.
Kane, goal in 54th, 70th minute pen. Then Svensson for Dortmund tied it up at 2-2, and then the elder statesman, if you will, Kimmich, won the game 3-2. Just a blow. Just it hurt. It hurt. That could have put the gap at 5 points. And now it's 9. And man, it's just gonna be a tough uphill battle for Dortmund to try to nip the title. But yeah, hurts. But still wear the kit, and obviously having another beer. That they sponsor Dortmund. All right, moving along to the Champions League draw, which took place as we talked about on Friday last week. So the round of 16, and we have some doozies. PSG take on the Club World Cup rival that they have of Chelsea in the round of 16. Galatasaray take on Liverpool. Some Turkish things there from when Liverpool won the Champions League many years ago in Turkey. And then we have, once again, it seems like we always have this, Real Madrid and Man City. It just seems like we just always have it, you know. And either the round of 16 or the knockout round or something like that. It's just always there. Atalanta will take on Bayern. Newcastle and Barcelona. How fun is that? Atletico Madrid take on Tottenham. Watch Tottenham beat them. Wouldn't that be something? And then, are you muted, Ron?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Watch them win the Champions League, but get relegated out of the Premier League.
Yeah, pull
that was, I was listening to
pull
two Robbies, and that's exactly what Robbie, he was like, here's what's going to happen. They're going to go back to Europe.
2.0.
Yeah, same way that they did with what's his nuts, the Australian, win a European Cup, the European Cup, and then just bomb out. Like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep. Bayern Leverkusen will take on Arsenal, and then a favorable draw for both, and one that's kind of might be one of the better matches of the game. Bodo Glimt take on Sporting from Portugal.
Yeah, man.
That could be a fun one. And if Bodo Glimt advanced, that would be awesome. So these I don't know when these games take place. Let's see here. They take place.
It can't be. How are they doing so well in Champions League? And they're so bad in the Premier League. Spurs. I just.
They take place actually over the next 2 weeks here. The first leg is on the 11th and
11th of March, and the 17th of March is the second leg.
Correct. So they take place over the next 2 weeks here. So look for that in the Champions League. And then over in the MLS. Oh, man.
Do we really got to talk about this one?
I don't want to, but we have to. Orlando City 2, Inter Messi 4. And boy, I don't know why Messi was so scared to come for the several games we've had him up here before, because he tore us apart. It's fun to see him play. Listen, he's one of the greatest of all time. They were screaming his name and they were bowing to him in the stands when he kicked balls vastly wide and ran the ball out of bounds. So when he scored goals, you can only imagine what the fans did. But Orlando City. I mean, long story short, Orlando City was up 2-0, went into half, and thinking that hey, we won the game. I mean, you walked around the concourse at half. Well, Orlando City fans are so celebrating like the game's over. And like I'm walking around with Phil and Britt, and I'm like, listen, 2-0 lead's the worst lead to have.
It's the worst, man.
And especially when you have one of the greatest of all time on the other side. Yeah, we made some good saves against them in the first half, scored some good goals. But man, they tore us apart in the second half. An early goal in the 49th by I think the substitute, Silvestri, and that just kind of kicked it off. He got subbed in on right at the turn of half and then scored. Boom, bang. And then Messi scored the second to tie it up. Segovia, who had 2 assists on those first 2 goals, got himself a third. Then a short little while after that, a second yellow, soft second yellow, at least from my perspective. Sent off Colin Gusky, and Lionel Messi stepped up and hit a free kick that beat Maxenko Pro. First time that Inter Miami's beat Orlando City at Orlando City Stadium there, and first time that Messi himself came and he put on a show. So, yay, good for them. Too early to go over the table. We'll make our picks sometime late March after the transfer window has concluded. If this was trying to sell Antoine Griezmann on trying to come to Orlando City, they did not do a very good job. Not only did Orlando City get embarrassed, but we're probably not going to get Antoine Griezmann before March. We might get him in the summer sometime, but with Eddie advancing, obviously, in the round of 16 with the Champions League that we just said, they also advanced and beat Barcelona in the Copa del Rey, and they advanced in that. So he has a great love, obviously, for Atletico, and by all rights, he wants to stay and see out to see, if they win anything. And by the end of the season, can't blame him for that. We'll see what happens in summer for us.
Yeah, watch him go win some trophies, and then he can charge a little more money. Right.
And he cannot sign with Inter Miami, if you're thinking that, because they don't have any DP spots. We actually have an open DP spot from Luis Muriel, who left in the offseason. So.
And we have his discovery right. So if someone else signs him, we get some cash.
Yeah, they're paying us regardless.
So dumb.
Discovery right. It's the biggest joke.
Anyways, U.S. Women's National Team, the She Believes Cup is taking place.
Woohoo!
And they won 2-0 over Argentina with a Lindsay Deeps and Jaden Shaw goal on Saturday. And then just over an hour or so ago against our northern rivals, Canada, a lone Ali Sentner goal in the 55th minute was enough for a 1-0 win for Emma Hayes and her U.S. ladies. The She Believes Cup has been going on for a while now. The U.S. has won it the most times. They are not the current holders of it, though. I think Japan are. And they're not in the tournament this go-around. But it will conclude this Saturday, March 7th at 12:30 p.m. Canada will take on Argentina. And then U.S. will take on Colombia at 3:30. And those
if you won it last year, you should be able to come back and defend it.
Yeah, but there was something that Japan. It wasn't Japan. It was something with Japan that I can't remember. Something with the team they voluntarily kind of weren't into it for something. I don't know exactly why. So U.S. top the table right now, +3, 6 points. Canada in second, 3 points +2. Colombia -2 on 3 points, and Argentina on 0 points with a -3. So it's all going to kind of end here on Saturday, and hopefully the U.S. can beat Colombia and win out the table there. Because if Canada beat Argentina and they score a bunch of goals, then and the U.S. don't, then they could surpass the U.S. in the overall table to win the She Believes Cup. And then lastly, we won't kind of get into it, but we are 99 days away from the World Cup here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And there are just so many headlines that are just circling a lot from this past week, whether you're talking Iran, whether you're talking games in Mexico, where there's been cartel violence since cartel leader died in a raid there last week. You have tickets, of course. Ron, you sent in the text today, $195 for parking. Something.
Yeah, $175.
Yeah.
$175 to park is insane. Foxborough up there in the New England area has a $7.8 million gap issue that if they don't get the funds, they have to cancel stuff and they may not even host a game there. So a lot going on, right? Not to mention the geopolitics that involve with Iran at the moment, visa issues, people coming into the country, all of that type of stuff. Just a whole host of things. We haven't even talked about like what the Club World Cup went through last year, right? How hot it's going to be in some areas, how storms may delay games, turf issues, those sort of things, right?
What's going to be what do you think will be the hot bulb globe temperature?
Right.
Well, remember how many the games that they were like, why are all these games at 2 p.m. on days they didn't have to be and stuff? That was such a wild thing
right
last year.
And I know we push them a lot on here, but if you go over to the Athletic, they just the other day published, and I want to give credits here, actually I'm not going to give credits, a whole host of their soccer writers, from Henry Bushnell, Adam Kraft, and Paul Tenorio, Nick Miller, Chris Witherspoon, Greg O'Keefe, boom. Sorry if I have not said your name, but some big names in the world of soccer journalism have put together a great article of 100 things you need to know about soccer, U.S. men's national team tickets, and more. That was published yesterday with 100 days out of the World Cup. So please go over to the here in the States, nytimes.com, and find that. And it just goes over everything from like, hey, if you're not familiar with some of the teams, if you're not familiar with where it's being held at, how long do games last, what happens in, if it's tied. Have you heard of like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo? Are they still good? How old are they? Just it goes over a whole host of things that many that listen to this podcast will probably know, but it's a good kind of show your friends, show people that are interested in the World Cup, but maybe not know as much as you at home know or because you got to keep in mind too. This is an expanded field for the World Cup. There's 48 teams in this. You're getting teams like Caracal and teams that have never made it in before that are part of this, and that's part of this as well. So go over there, look at this article. Currently, there's 42 teams confirmed. They have that on here as well. It's just a great article put together by some of the best in the business over on The Athletic. And that has been your La Liga's Roundup.
Bam. Well, that there brings us to the end. The Beers, the Pod, were Ron's delicious ice cold water, brought to you by
Awesome.
A hold up at the local beer shop. I had a Grand Cacao from Trogs Brewing. And Ferris?
And I had Dab, a German-style Dortmunder beer from Dortmund and the official sponsors of BVB Borussia Dortmund.
I would like to commend you for a gentleman of your age that you didn't throw out a dab when you pulled out a Dab beer. I feel like that was great restraint that you showed.
Dab is like nowadays the equivalent of the Dab would be 6'7".
Yeah. Truly, it was the 6'7" of its time. 6'7" might have even lived a little shorter.
Oh, it's still living, my friend.
Yeah, it is. Do you have a?
Oh, let me bring out the book real quick.
Oh, yeah, bring out that book. Let's see if I can get it to stop on page 6-7.
Oh, awesome! All right, here we go.
Stop.
Okay, we got one marked off on here. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna read you 4 headlines here, or 5 headlines, and you tell me which quote you want me to read out these headlines. On his bromance with Mourinho, the forward explains what it is like to play at Barcelona. Zlatan is as modest as ever. Unsettled at Ajax, Zlatan asked his agent if any clubs offered him a way out, or Zlatan on growing up after 5 months at Ajax. Which of those headline quotes would you like me to read?
Mourinho.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, as soon as you said that, we worked our way down that list.
Currently, we have Mourinho turned around here in the studio, the bobblehead that we got from Phil, because he's in timeout for a lot of the stuff that he dealt with.
I forgot you put him in timeout.
Yeah, he's still turned in his head. All right, so Zlatan is quoted as saying, Jose Mourinho is a big star. The first time he met my partner, he said, Helena, you have one mission. Feed Zlatan. Let him sleep. Keep him happy. The guy says whatever he wants. I like him.
That sounded correct coming from the both of them.
And that was on page 38, by the way, for you, those of you at home.
Ridiculous. Well, as always, follow us at brewtifulgame.com. You can follow us over on the Untapped. We'll be throwing up a bunch of these beers, not throwing them up, putting them up there. Throwing them up sounds bad. It's follow us on your whatever podcast you're listening to us through. Leave a rating or review. Let us know. We'll try to get something out to you, and tell your friends, tell your families. Get us a billboard. We'll talk about it. There's some beer thing going on here soon that I was like, I'm going to sport my Brewtiful Game shirt and stuff to that. Actually, gentlemen, you'll like it. I'm actually working on creating an edutainment comedy, interactive, like how do you brew and distill? I didn't brew beer and distill liquor in a funny way that I'm super stoked to be working on right now.
Nice.
Speaking of, and I think that's it. I just have a dad question to throw your way, and it's here and I picked it before I knew you were going to give another Scottish update, because this needs to be done by Scottish, because it involves a Scottish food. So here goes. I gave the rest of my pastry to 2 pigeons. I smiled when I realized I had filled 2 birds with 1 scone. Love the beer, cherish the game, the Brewtiful Game.